Hello everybody, how are you? My name is Chef Rob. Today we are going to make carnival style funnel cakes. You know how you go to the fair, the state fair, carnivals, they are delicious. We always have to have one when we're there, right? So they're very simple, you have to be really careful, and I'll go through it step by step for everybody. This is going to make about 5 or 6 of them. Of course, depends on the size you want to make them. We're going to start with our dry ingredients first. So we're going to take a medium bowl. The medium bowl, you want to take 2 cups of the all-purpose flour. Just lightly put it in there. Make sure it's nice and even. Okay, and just kind of layer this right in here. Nice and smooth, just like that. So this is 2 full cups of the all-purpose flour. Now you got to sweeten it up a little bit. You are going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. So we have our 2. Now you're going to need them to rise just a little bit as you are cooking them. So we are going to take 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Bring out that little bit of flavor that's in here. Some salt, so a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And we just want to take a wire whisk and just mix all these ingredients together. And then we're just going to leave this on the side. Okay. So leave your dry ingredients on the side. Then we're going to come over. We're going to take 1 full cup of the whole milk. Very important that it's whole milk for this to come out correctly. Okay, you may need a little bit more, but start with 1 cup. Depends if you over pour it on the flour or not. Okay, so we're going to need a little bit of vanilla extract. This is kind of optional, but if you have it, I really suggest you put it in there because it does give it a nice richness. So it's just a 1/2 teaspoon, but it adds a lot of flavor to it. And then we're going to take 2 large eggs, and we're just going to beat these right in here, just lightly. Just want to get it combined. Funnel cakes are so much fun. So I'm going to use the same whisk as I did for the dry ingredients. Let's just bring this all together. And now we're just going to take our dry ingredients and add these into the wet. Always have a powdered sugar shaker on the side if you have something like that. If not, you could use like a little strainer, anything like that, because you're going to want to dust these when they come out of the hot oil. Okay. So we just want to whisk this until all of the lumps are gone. And just having that, just a little bit of sugar in there, that really does help the lumps come out. So just whisk it, give it really hard, but as soon as there's no flour, just stop, okay? So now we're going to turn on our burner. You want a deep pan. You see I have a deep pan? It's kind of like a wok. It's not a wok, but something like it. I want to put about 2 to 3 inches of vegetable oil in here. And I'm going to show you how to get it to the proper temperature. You want it, again, 2 to 3 inches of oil. So you will use quite a bit. Okay. So we are going to turn this on here. And I have what's called a candy or deep fried thermometer, okay, where it would go up to 500 degrees. If you have a deep enough pan, you can kind of just hang this right off the edge here, and you just want to kind of monitor it. You don't want this to go any more than 370 to 375. You want it right in that range. It's really important because if you add this batter and the oil isn't hot enough, it's going to be greasy. It's not going to come out nice and crisp. And if it's too hot, they're going to burn. They're going to burn really quickly. If you don't have one of these, another way to tell is you can always take a wooden spoon and just kind of put the wooden spoon into the oil. And if it's not doing really anything much, it's not hot enough. If it's starting to bubble a little bit, it's probably right at that good temperature, 370, 375. And then if it's really rapidly boiling, it's probably too hot, okay? So that's only if you don't have one of those thermometers. Another way to tell is you can always take a dot of flour and just kind of toss just a little bit in there, start sizzling, it's at a good temperature. So just different ways, okay? Because not everybody has every tool in their home, okay? And I don't want you to have to go out and buy something for something that you might make once, twice, something like that. Okay, while the oil is getting hot, I am going to show you different ways that we can work this batter here. Okay, so there's different ways to make funnel cakes. Of course, you want to be really careful. Make sure children, if you're doing this, make sure your parents are with you and doing this with you. You could take the batter and you can use from 1/3 of a cup to 1/2 a cup. Just kind of scoop it out. And you can kind of just go right over here and just kind of go like that and crisscross over the funnel cake. Of course, a funnel is how you make a funnel cake. But there are different ways to do it. Another way is pouring some of the batter in a little measuring cup. Again, about 1/3 of a cup to 1/2 a cup. And you would just kind of go back and forth just like that. And we're going to do that. I'm just going to showing you while the oil is getting nice and hot. Okay, now if you go to a fair or carnival, what they do is they have these giant squeeze bottles like this, and what they actually do is they cut a big part of the tip off. So if you are doing this at home, just be very, very careful. A very good scissor or a knife would do it. Okay, it can be a little tough because this part here where I'm cutting is on the thicker side. So that is going to give it a nice opening right there. So I am going to fill this up, okay, and we are going to make these soon. Let's just check our temperature guide. Now if this pot was a little taller, I would be able to just clip this right onto the pot right on the outside here. So you can see that it's starting to move up. I don't want it to go past 370, 375. I want it right in that area, 370 to 375. Okay, so what I did was I took all the batter and I put it into a big measuring cup, and when it's very hot, again, I could just drizzle it just like this, or just to get it really nice and easy, not to lose any batter, I could put it into this giant squeeze bottle. Again, you could always do it in a funnel. I'm going to leave a little bit for the funnel because, again, this is funnel cakes. You can just take this batter here, get that right inside. I'm going to turn this up. Let's check our oil. You want to really keep after the oil. You don't want it to go past that 375 mark, okay? If it does, you're going to have to wait a little bit and let it come back down to temperature, okay? Now, this, of course, is not a healthy dessert by any means, but you can always put some sliced strawberries on here, some whipped cream at the very end. It'll be really delicious. Really important, when you pour this into the batter, it will be about 90 seconds per side, okay? So really time it. You're going to see a little golden brown bottom, and then you're going to take tongs and just have them ready, okay? Just take the tongs and you can just like gently flip it over, okay? And I have my powdered sugar shaker ready for the end. When you are putting this thermometer into the oil, you don't want it to hit bottom. You want it right to the middle of the oil, okay? And we can see that climbing. Okay, so our temperature is at about 372 degrees. I'm going to take this out. I want to show everybody something. This is the wooden handle, and you could see and hear that it's starting to sizzle, okay? See those little bubbles in there? So that means when I pour in my funnel cake in here, that is going to make it get nice and crispy, okay? So you want to do this on the quicker side. Just be really cautious with it, and you want to move really fast. And again, it depends on how big you want to make it. So we're going to let that one in there. Just reduce it down just a little bit. about 90 seconds on each side. And then you're going to see it get nice and golden on the bottom here. And then you're going to just gently flip it over. You can see how that is starting to get nice and golden already. Okay. I have some paper plates right here because funnel cakes at the Carnival, that's what you get them on, right? And then you put it on some paper towels because you want to get some of that grease off, okay? So I'm just going to gently, and I don't want to splash it because I don't want that oil to get on me, okay? And then we're going to repeat it, but before you repeat it, you want to put the thermometer back in here because by putting the batter in here, which is cold, it brings the temperature of the oil down. So you have to bring that temperature of the oil back up, okay? So I'm just using those plates that you would get at a fair or a carnival. Put a paper towel on it. And we're going to put it right on here. You want to put powdered sugar on it right away. And enjoy, but be really careful when you go to eat it because of course it's going to be piping hot. So this is looking done. I'm going to put that right over here. I am going to check the oil for the temperature before I do any more. Now I could always make minis, I can make large ones. So while I'm doing this and checking the oil, it usually brings the temperature down. I am just taking a lot of powdered sugar and putting it right on there. Okay, so this is ready to go. I'm going to do it with the, I'm going to do it right through the funnel right now, okay, because it is a funnel cake. So let's just pour this right in here. And now you're just gonna, it's gonna slowly come out, and then you're gonna want to let it go zigzag right through the oil. It's a thicker batter, so okay. And then we could always do it with the measuring cup as well. You just kind of get it. If it's a little loose like this one is, you just kind of squeeze the funnel a little bit, bring it in, crisscross it. So this has been about 90 seconds. Let's just turn this over, just like that. I'm going to give it about maybe 90, maybe a little bit less. Just make sure that oil does not get too hot, okay? We still have more batter to make them, so we can make some minis as well with this. Okay, here is the one that we already finished, and it will be so delicious. Okay, so let's take this out now. Just shake off as much of the oil as you can. Again, you're going to enjoy this almost immediately, but just be very, very cautious. You do not burn your mouth. Be very safe if you have children around with the oil. Okay, and then we're just going to put a little bit more in here. Okay, and I'm just going to show you how to decorate one of these if you want to add a little bit of fruit to this too. Okay, again, make sure that temperature is at that right 370, 375. We're just going to flip this one over here. And now, let's just do a little decorating here. You could put strawberries, blueberries on here, and then with the white, red, white, and blue for all of summer and 4th of July, Memorial Day. And then you could always just top it with some whipped cream. And look at that. So everybody, thank you for watching. Make these with your family and friends, but be very careful with the oil, okay? Stay well. Have a great summer. Goodbye.